Good morning. This is Warwick Smith of American Pacific, along with my business partner, Eric Saderholm, coming to you on Monday, February the 28th, to discuss the Gooseberry results that we've put out. So this is a very significant intersection for us, almost 4.6 meters of 547 grams per ton silver equivalent. It's a good, thick zone of great grade. And most importantly, it's in a brand new vein. I think there's a lot to talk about here, but we're incredibly excited about encountering this new vein. Gooseberry, and I'll step back. I'll give a couple of reasons, and I'll kind of step back and walk you guys through why we're so excited about this. First off, Gooseberry, when it was in production, from the time it was in sort of old time production to West Coast oil to Asamara, it produced around 1 million ounces of gold equivalent between the gold and the silver. That's sort of a rough number, but that's in about what it produced. But I think the rub on it would always be that it was one vein. It was the Gooseberry vein. They never discovered any other veins. They never really chased after any other veins. We'll talk about that in a minute as to why. The analogy we always liked for Gooseberry, and we still, and now in particular, it starts to really ring true, is the Comstock lode. Comstock lode is 15 miles away from us. It is in the same Cake Peak andesite, so it's in the same rocks, except it was multiple veins, multiple crossing structures. And it produced 8.3 million ounces of gold and 192 million ounces of silver. It's a big mine. It was actually the largest mine in the US before the big Carlin mines were discovered. Now at Gooseberry, for the very first time, we are showing that there are parallel vein sets. Not only did we show it once, we intersected the vein 3 times. So now we can see that it's got a 1,500 meter strike length. That's a good size to begin with, for sure. And I know I'm going to pass to Eric here in a second. One of the first things that Eric and our new chief geologist, Zach Hibden, who's doing an excellent job for us, said when they went out there, they took out a drone and flew it over to the west and said, there are a bunch of crossing structures here. We think there's going to be multiple other veins here. We're really excited about that. Again, this is how Gooseberry gets big. So now, after putting these results out on Wednesday of last week, we started phase 2. So Shane, who works for us, who's also doing a great job, is out there sampling along that western portion, looking to show where these new veins and crossing structures are. Incredibly excited, great grade. The fact that it's a brand new vein is really exciting. So with that, Eric, why don't I pass off to you and please chime in.
Well, I will. When we started to drill out there, we really were just trying to expand the original vein, the one that was discovered and obviously mined. We started to see alteration that we really were excited about, and we just continued to drill deeper. And so that's how we encountered the second vein. As Warwick says, we hit it on three occasions, and the fact that there's a pretty strong mineralization for 17 meters makes it far greater and thicker than anything we've ever seen before at Gooseberry. So that's pretty exciting, especially when you're drilling exploration holes and you tag into something that great. This really is exciting. It's 100 feet away from anything that's ever been drilled before. And the reason it probably was not discovered was the fact that when they drilled underground, they were drilling 50-foot holes. Well, this is 100 feet away, so they never even would have seen it. They were just drilling for production. They weren't drilling for exploration. So this opens up a total new chapter in Gooseberry right now.
Yeah, I think this is one of those classic stories, right, where guys have a mine, they're just drilling in front of their faces to keep it in production in a low gold environment. It takes a company like us to come in and do some smart exploration, which is exactly what Eric and Zach did by drilling down, feeling they were seeing something and to keep going and drilling past what they were intending to and starting to encounter a new vein. It's incredibly exciting for us. So very, very pleased about that. Eric, do you want to talk about what you guys, so that just for people's understanding, this hasn't been in hard rock production since 1991. It hasn't been touched since 1994. So one of the things that Eric and Zach did when they went out, and I talked about these veins off to the west, they went out with a drone so they could look down from a 20,000 foot level and get a different look at the topography, which is where they started to see all these crossing structures and what they feel are going to be other veins. So Eric, do you want to talk about that a little bit and just, how that expansion is going to go? I know part of the plan here is to get out and do some sampling, get out and do some geochemistry, probably some geophysics. Once that's done, we'll put that into a 3D space and get on and attack this and get drilling again. So do you want to basically just talk a little bit about what you saw and how you feel this is going to develop as we go forward?
Off of the western part of the property, the alteration is just amazing. And so it just indicates to us that we have more systems there. These vein systems at Gooseberry don't have a great surface expression. So you kind of have to go out and do the due diligence. You got to get out and work. So we have 3,000 samples planned from soils, and that's going to clearly identify some new targets. Hasn't been done there before. So it's going to be a new, just a new program and a new way to approach it. As Warwick said, the drone footage and what we're seeing from being high level instead of just on the ground is just adds another nuance and another a tool in the kit, really, if you want to say that. Very excited about what's going to happen. The soil program is in process right now. The 3,000, I think we've got about 500 already collected. So that'll go to the lab. We'll have everything put into a space, and our phase 2 drilling then will concentrate on a new vein we just found and the new veins we think we're going to find. It's never really been approached this way. As Warwick said, it's always been production centric. It's never been exploration centric. So this is very, very exciting project to be on.
Yeah, again, we're focusing on high grade assets in the Western US, and this is one that we think can get big. Certainly looking at the analogy of Comstock, that's a big mine. We're in the same rocks. We're starting to see some of the same things. It's got us incredibly excited. Eric, should we talk about Tuscarora for 2 minutes?
Might as well. We're on hole 5 in Tuscarora. It looks like once again we've drilled through the vein that we knew we would probably hit, and now we're deeper into the system, and we have what appears to be visible gold. So I might as well just tell you that totally different. It's very sulfide rich, so it's a different style of mineralization. Once again, never explored before. This is at 700 feet, and we've never drilled any holes. No holes out there go deeper than 600. So we're in another piece of another system. It looks like we're going to have good success there.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's hole 5 of the initial 70 hole program planned. So we're certainly keeping busy on all fronts. We'll have news coming out in short order on South Lida, which is one of our projects just outside of Las Vegas, about 2.5 hours outside of Las Vegas. We'll have news on Madison shortly as well. We also, worth touching on, we just uplisted to the OTCQX, which will make it easier for U.S. shareholders to buy and sell American Pacific. So we're certainly very pleased about that. About $15 million in cash, so very, very strong cash position. Things are going really well. I think we're due for a big year in 2022. So Eric, appreciate the time, and thanks so much for watching.